Andy Williams was born in 1927. In his career, he recorded 43 albums, including 8 Christmas albums, and sold over 45 million records worldwide. His Christmas song, It's the Most Wonderful Time of the Year, is a classic and earned him the nickname, the King of Christmas.
It's the most wonderful time of the year.
He also carried the moniker, the Emperor of Easy. As a teen, he began singing with his 3 older brothers as the Williams Brothers. Having much success, they were signed to MGM and toured with singer Kay Thompson. In 1953, Andy went solo. He was ultimately signed to Columbia Records, and in 1961, he married actress-singer Claudine Longet. He was asked to sing the song Moon River at the Academy Awards when the song was up for Best Original Song for the movie Breakfast at Tiffany's. He recorded it later, and it became one of his huge hit records. He was a superstar. Music to Watch Girls By, Born Free, Days of Wine and Roses, Love Story. His variety television program, The Andy Williams Show, ran from 1962 to 1971. Now, his marriage to Longet ended in 1975. They had 3 children together. Claudine very famously murdered her lover, 30-year-old Spider Savage, in 1976. Andy Williams stood by her during the trial and paid her legal expenses. She ended up spending only 20 days in jail. In 1991, Andy married his wife, Debbie Haas. And in 1992, he opened the Moon River Theater in Branson, Missouri, the first non-country star to open a theater in Branson. It was in the theater that he announced his diagnosis with bladder cancer in 2011. This was the first theater ever to be featured in Architectural Digest. It was designed to blend in with the Ozark Mountains and incorporated trees and plants through the lobby. As I mentioned before, it was unique because it was the first theater to open to a non-country act. I'm at a scenic overlook in Branson, Missouri right now, and a gorgeous day, gorgeous river, and across the way is an area of Branson called Port Royale. As a gated community. And according to my friend Richard Kapler, Andy Williams' house, he was very kind enough to give me the address. Andy Williams' house is that one right there. And that'd be the house where Andy Williams actually passed away. He was diagnosed with cancer in November of 2011, bladder cancer, and he sought treatment in Houston and also in Malibu. They stayed in Malibu for Los Angeles area treatments, and they came back to Branson, Missouri. And Andy Williams died in that house on September 25th, 2012, at the age of 84. So Andy Williams found his way to Branson, opened up his own theater. The Osmonds had a theater here, the Mandrell sisters, Mickey Gilley had one. I mean, everyone had theaters, not everyone, but lots of people had theaters. But I'm glad to say that Andy Williams' one is still here. And in the river is Andy Williams. Andy Williams was cremated and scattered in the Moon River here in Branson. I do love Andy Williams though. He's got such a great voice. He does Moon River, of course, and he did the I Can't Help Falling in Love with You. And my favorite version of Windy, which is it's just an awesome pop music, piece of pop music I remember from the Association when I was a kid. And I love Andy Williams' version of it. I wonder if there's any kind of plaque around here that says something. I have several Andy Williams records. We have a reel-to-reel of Andy Williams. We can get a reel-to-reel machine that works. But we do have one. Well, I'm surprised there's actually nothing written out here that says anything about Andy Williams being out here. I can still hear the singing in the theater. Andy Williams' final resting space. So go back. I'm going to go in and see what it looks like on the inside. Lots of cool stuff to see and do here in Branson. Lots of stuff to eat. And it is humid, but not Memphis humid. Memphis had my shoulders screaming. All right, I'm going to go in and see what's going on. So I was just talking to someone who works here, and they confirmed, yes, definitely, Andy, or portion of Andy Williams is in here. He said that Andy just loved this place, and he's the one that these are actually Andy's fish. The koi that you see in there are fish that Andy put in there. And this was his favorite place. Now, I was told that when Andy Williams died, the theater was actually saved or bought by Jimmy Osmond, who, was, Andy Williams, I think, was largely responsible for Jimmy Osmond's success. And Jimmy Osmond is huge in England. And Jimmy Osmond got sick a couple of years ago, had a stroke when he was in London, I think. But anyway, so Jimmy Osmond saved the Andy Williams Moon River Theater from changing hands. And then I was told that there is a candy company, a very large, very kind people who own this candy company. He said it was on the way to St. Louis, I think, purchased it. And during COVID, they just had to keep it active. So they just had a magician or ventriloquist or something like that for a while. But now they're trying to bring back the shows again, the bigger shows. But so Andy Williams, this was his favorite place. So apparently there was an apartment, a beautiful apartment back here that was Andy's apartment. And that might be it. They said the backstage door goes directly to it. Oh, that's probably it in there. So that must be it. Here's the apartment. The man himself, Andy Williams. Here's a walk through the theater. I hope you enjoy it. Thanks for watching. I had a very nice conversation with the lovely girl that works here. And I said, so can you clear up a rumor? Is Andy Williams? I said, is Andy Williams in the river? And she looked at me, she said, Andy Williams has actually been dead for... I said, no. It was a really funny moment. Andy and Tallulah. Andy and Nanette. Andy and the Dancers. He was so cool. I love Andy Williams. I love his voice. I just love his voice. I was never a big fan growing up when he had his shows, but I do enjoy him. Phil Dill. And I asked, I said, well, I can't see there being a whole lot of people looking for Andy Williams souvenirs. She said, well, we do have bags. So I would buy a bag, but they're only open during intermission time, and that would be about 45 minutes from now, and I don't think I want to stick around. Tina Turner and the Ikettes. Henry Mancini.
Herb Alpert and Temptations, Diana Ross and the Supremes. It's actually Florence, so it should be the Supremes. Well, it should always been the Supremes. Leslie Uggams, Herbert Goulet. I'm not a big fan of looking at pictures. But these are fun. Guitars in. Oh, there's something I never need to see. Cool. That's not Florence. It's Cindy.
You heard me.